People say I'm toxic, and honestly, I don't care.
Hello, good evening, good night, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are. I'm Abs of October Red, and welcome to our live. You know what it is. It's conversations and commentary. Sorry I've jumped on so late tonight. I thought I got the card all mixed up. But I'm jumping on for obviously the last two events. What an evening of fights. It's been good. So shout out to Matchroom for putting this card together. It's been an enjoyable fight night so far. I was supposed to be streaming on Instagram, but for some reason, IG's playing up when it comes to the stream. But yeah, a warm welcome to you. I've got to shout out my companions this evening, not because they've sponsored me, but shout out to Uncle Ray and his nephews. I'll be keeping my palate nice and wet with that throughout this evening, throughout the last couple of fights that we've got. So you know what I like to do. Got to say hi to the chat. And since we're all about innovation, we're all about change, I've got to say, I've actually put all of the chats now so they stream through the live. So the only thing I will ask is that you're respectable. Otherwise, I'll have to turn off that stage appearance of all the chats. So good evening. Shout out to Ricky E245. Big up yourself, Ricky. Legal Eagles, good evening to you. Dazza, them cartwheels will never cease to amaze me. The best emoticon that we've got. Dan the Man, I ain't seen you for a bit. How you doing? Good evening to you. And Chris Welsh, all good, and happy to be in the comfort of my living room. I was going to go to this, but I thought, you know what? You know what I'm like? I actually enjoy doing the lives more. Akib Fiaz versus Murphy, you know, we can start there. That has been a really good fight. Let's have a look at the scores. I thought Akib just got it, but we'll see. 96-95. Unanimous. Akib Fiaz got it on UD. I thought he won. Thought it might have been a split, but yeah, definitely won. Fair play to him. He really showed heart. Those guys kept that pace up for the majority of the fight. So shout out to their fitness and definitely shout out to their chins. They're going to have a couple of bruises, stiff necks tomorrow morning. But yeah, that was a good fight, to be fair. Well placed on the card because we've had a lot of early knockouts, which I've got to say, Niall Brown, he was the very first fight on the card, on the prelims. Niall Brown out of Manchester, trained by Pat Barrett, signed to Wasserman. And he did a really, really good performance, clinical. He's got the power. He's got the punches in the bunches. I'm looking forward to seeing his career develop under Wasserman Boxing, but it's nice to know that he got a bit of shine as well by coming over onto DAZN, courtesy of Matchroom. So yeah, shout out to Niall Brown. Obviously, we've had is it an upset? And I'm going to leave that for you guys in the chat because I didn't do enough. Well, sorry, I didn't do any homework on William Corolla's opponent. So to me, that caught me off guard. I was talking about it with a couple of people on X. A shout out to you guys if you're watching this. A couple of them said, I saw it coming. And I was like, nope, I didn't see that coming. Stoppage on the floor, you name it. So sorry if you haven't watched the fight. I've just spoiled it for you there. But yeah, William Corolla, first time stopped, first time beaten, stopped in his professional career. So commiserations to him, but shout out to his opponent, a Scotsman, I believe. So yeah, that one caught me off guard. Leo Atang. I had a phone call today from somebody that said, which was disappointing actually, because it's somebody within the industry who told me that people were moaning about his opponent, saying that he should have had a better opponent because of his amateur pedigree. He wasn't an Olympian. He's 18 years old, and there's only so much of an amateur pedigree or experience you can have as an 18-year-old turning over pro. And I'm not sure if he was 17 at the time. So I was a little bit disappointed in that, and I sensed a bit of jealousy, obviously because he's got the backing of Eddie Hearn. Eddie Hearn's touting him to be the next AJ. As premature as it sounds or whatever, it's giving the public, it's giving the fighter hopes and dreams of what they could possibly achieve. He went in there, got his opponent out, rapid, 1 round, body shot, got him on the floor. So yeah, give him his credit. He's 18 years old, and Moses Atauma was 18 years old when Frank picked him up. So I do like the strategy. I spoke to Frank Warren about this, and he said he prefers to get them in when they're younger so they can serve their apprenticeship on the job. They can get the experience. They can be molded by the promoters, which I think is a good idea as well. So Eddie's got that now with Leo, and obviously Tia Ayton, who was out in Birmingham a couple of weeks ago. So yeah, massive amount of respect to Leo. I wish him all the best. He needs activity. He's had his debut now. Get him out of there. I'm doing it again, and I know I'm doing it again. Moses Atauma was incredibly active, very active in the early part of his career, getting those fights in. And I expect to see the same, nothing less, with young Leo. We've got to go on to Pat Brown. Pat Brown, cruiserweight, stopped his opponent. I think that's round 1 as well, another round 1 stoppage. What I like about Pat Brown is he's spiteful. He's nasty, and he really wants to hurt you in there, and we can see that in him. And I like that because it makes him vulnerable, but it also makes him dangerous at the same time. I like what I'm seeing. I'm excited for him. Fight number 3. He only boxed 2 weeks ago in Birmingham. He was on the same card as Tia, or 2 weeks later, he's here. So let's see what the future holds. And like I said, once again, it's activity. Activity is really key. Let's build him, not rush him, but build him, get those experience in. Yes, he needs the rounds, but let's see how that ends up with the power and the relentlessness that he's actually got. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes, but I'm happy for him. Shout out to the Manchester lot as well. Sorry, I was just listening to what Akeem Fiaz was saying there. Jamie Moore and Nigel Travis, to shout out to them for the work that they're doing with their fighters up there, getting some really good work in. Interesting, but just keep him active. Just keep the fighters active, because it seems as if a lot of the higher echelons of fights, and I guess we could maybe touch on that, are getting dragged out either onto Ring Magazine cards or they're out in Saudi. You can see that from obviously the public response, and I'm going by the British public response because obviously that's where I'm sat. Say, for example, the Usyk Dubois 2, there's a few people that said, I wish it was Moses Atauma and Dillian White on there as a co-main. And I get that, but we're going to start to lose a lot of the, how can I put it, the elite fighters, the higher echelon of fighters. They're going to take them off, which creates yet again another divide in boxing. But it is what it is. We are where we are, and we are getting good fights. This card has been a testament to that, because I've not been bored watching any of these fights tonight. So yeah, onwards and upwards. Let me go to the chat, because you know me, I'll rabbit on and I won't say hello to anyone. 1 second. Let's have a look. Bon Scott, good evening. Scots did well tonight, didn't they? Andrew, good evening to you. Here we go. Once again, Murphy, the last minute opponent, gave Fiaz a tough test. He definitely did, because I'd say, Chris, it was definitely a fight of two halves. It was literally to in and fro in between the both of them. And at one point, I did have Murphy looking like he was going to win, but it is what it is. Yeah, I definitely did want to go to it, but sometimes, like I said, I like to be on the lives with you guys. Sounds a bit strange when I could be there watching the fights, but no, sometimes I do like to watch the fights with you guys. So I wouldn't say I didn't want to go, but I'm definitely happy to be here with you. Let's have a look. Chris is saying, I expected Crawler to knock him out early. Really shocked by that. And it just goes to show Crawler, is Crawler really all of that? Or was it just an awful night? And that look, a couple of people on X, and I know these people watch boxing just as much as I do, they saw it coming. Whether they know more about the opponents, some of them did have critique and constructive critique of Crawler, but I didn't do my homework on his opponent. So that's why I'm gonna put my hands up, because I didn't expect Crawler to stop him or whatever. I expected him to win, which is kind of like a grey caveat to say I've not studied his opponent, but I'm going to back the home fighter. Lazy, definitely. And obviously it backfired. Let's have a look. So Andrew reckons Eddie's getting way too excited over this young guy, Atang. Is he? Can't you hype your fighters up, Andrew? I think that's what they should do, because they've got to sell them to us. They've got to sell us the dream, haven't they? So I think he's doing what a promoter should do. Whether we like it or not, that's down to us, isn't it? But I think he's doing what his job is, which is to promote the fighter. And you can't help but feel excited about him as well. Bon Scott quite rightly said Eddie needs a break where the heavyweights are concerned. His cash cow has nearly retired. Yeah, it looks like the torch was being handed over on their launch evening that they had for the new Matchroom look. Please feel free to comment on what you thought about what you think of what Matchroom's doing, how they've changed it up in regards to cosmetics. There's nothing, obviously, of deep foundation that they haven't changed broadcasters or anything like that. It's the cosmetics, it's the aesthetics, it's the abs. It's what we can see on the outside that they've changed. So let us know what your thoughts are with that. Andrew goes on to say, gassing up a fighter this early isn't good. Yeah, there's a lot of pressure. I said that when I spoke to Tia Ayton. There's a lot of pressure because she's been touted as the next Katie Taylor. That's what's around her. And then she went in and stopped her first opponent. And I know that opponent's fought some other people. And she ruined a debutant's fight on a Queensbury card. So I knew that opponent. I'm going back to Tia again because I'm really happy for these guys. Tia made that opponent look really substandard, really poor. But that's because the quality of her as a fighter. So gas them up. I'm all for it, Soz. Very disappointing defeat for Corolla. I remember Hearn calling him the Manchester Golovkin, and he got beat by a Scottish area fighter. Yeah, Atang was always going to get these opponents to start off with, so it's understandable. Absolutely. Let's have a look. LR97. Big up October Red. Sure, I've seen you comment somewhere earlier on today. You changed your username again. Interesting. Or maybe not. Big up yourself as well. I want Catterall to win, obviously. But I can see Eubank on the upset tonight. I knew it. I also need you to sign my microwave. You've changed your name again. You know what I'd like you to do? I'd never give you a postal address for my microwave. But what I'd like you to do, LR97, see, I'm good with these, is I'd like you to put a profile picture up of what you actually look like. And maybe not your real name, because we're all entitled to some kind of anonymity, I guess. But a name would be nice. Right, LR goes on to say Joe Cordina with a wide points win. And then Harlem Eubank split decision for May. Oh, interesting. I like that. A few people, do you think people are writing off Harlem? That's what, it's a difficult one. Joe Cordina, world level, proven at world level. Obviously, he was a world champion. So he's going, obviously, up against a Mexican. He's having his first fight back. How's he going to get on with that? Because how long's he been out the ring for? 18 months. Then you've got Catterall, world level, going up against the up-and-coming, hungry Harlem Eubank. Harlem really wants to win. But will the experience of Catterall get to him? Counter punches, I think, is what Harlem's got to be careful of, because when Catterall's on it, he's a good counter puncher. but we'll see. So it could depend on timing, but it's nice to hear a difference in opinion on who you think will win. Old guard, Andrew, what have I missed? It's been a great night of boxing. Shout out to Legal Eagles. It's been a great night of boxing in Manchester tonight. Absolutely. I've enjoyed this card. It's been a really good card. Catterall needs to win. All pressure on him. No pressure on Harlem. For me, my opinion, this is Harlem's first step up, and I totally agree with you. I think they've got one fighter in common, and I can't remember what his name is. I was looking at the fight earlier just to compare the styles, and for the life of me, I can't remember what their fight is. Jay Sharp, good evening to you. With all respect, you are stunning. It's lighting. If you want to see what I really look like, go onto my IG and see what I'm like after I've ran 3 or 4 miles down my local canal. And then if you come back and still say it, then I'll respect it. This is all lighting. But thank you. Brooklyn, New York. I love it when I get the Americans in. What's your opinion then, Jay Sharp, on the American boxing? Do you think, and this is not me being accusatory, do you think you guys have been a bit selfish with boxing, wanting all the fighters to come over to the US, and are getting a little bit upset that His Excellency is now grabbing fighters from your home land and pushing them to Saudi or bringing them to the UK? I'd love to know you guys' thoughts on it. I was watching Blue Blood Sports live, and he was very vocal with his opinions, had some really good comments in his chat as well, where I think sometimes Americans like me, you get very patriotic to where you're from. So I'd be interested to know your opinion, Mr. Sharp. No, it's media accreditation. Don't have to pay. One defeat doesn't mean the end. I think Crawler takes a step down in opposition again, but if he loses again in quick succession, like Campbell Hatton, where did it? Yeah, there's nowhere to go. And you look, as cold as it is, if you think you're investing money in a product and the product isn't doing particularly well, in other words, in boxing, losing, or they're not in particularly exciting fights, they're not going to create any revenue for you as a business or any potential future revenue, why would you keep them? As horrible as that sounds, it's business. You've got to think there's a lot of fighters out there, and there's some really skilled ones, and there's all sorts of fighters, and it's up to you as a fighter to make sure. It's almost like life and death every time you go in that ring. You've got to perform to the best of your capabilities. So if you lose in a good way, you'll get called back more than if you win in a boring way. It's business at the end of the day. They'll be more inclined to keep you signed if you're a high ticket seller, because then they can sort of like maneuver you around so it fits the business. So you're still selling tickets and the business is still making money. But if you're not performing, you don't really bring much to the table, since that's kind of like the buzzword. What do you bring to the table? Then it's understandable that you're just going to get cut off. Yeah, unfortunately. Right. Capital Commodities. Speaking of fighters, commodities, which is what they are. October, I hope you're well. I hope you're well too. As for the main event, I think Harlem will do it. And it's 30 more minutes till fight time. Oh my God, Jordan Thompson, the ghost, is on commentary. I'm hearing that he's coming back soon. He's a very close friend of Jack Catterall, so it's nice to see that he'll be there supporting him. I know Sky Nicholson had a winnable opponent tonight, but good to see a stopper opponent, something different. She was obviously matched to ensure that she got that stoppage. So we'll see how she gets on. She's a fighter that's gone down, so let's see how she gets on in the weight range. I don't believe in giving her gimme fights. She's a former world champion. Put her in there. She's a class fighter. She'll find her own way back to the belts. Barney's saying, I've got nothing against young fighters coming through, so I draw the line at people calling young fighters hype jobs. It's his first pro fight. Give the guy a break. I'm totally with you, Bon Scott. I don't hate anybody LR97. I want LR97. I need a profile pic. Right? So I can screenshot it when you're in my comments and then I can just put it on my community post and ask everybody to say hello to you politely. I don't hate anybody. My God, life's too short for that. I think Harlem may do Catterall with a body shot mid-fight. Interesting. And Cordina needs to get active again. He absolutely does. Talented fighter, lovely mover. Richard Brown, good evening to you. I don't know if he's quit, Andrew, but he's disappeared, hasn't he? Does anyone agree that Dave Allen would... Yes, I agree with that. LR97, I'll put that on there for you guys to actually have a look. Gonzalez is making his ring walk. I will be jumping out the chat because we're going to do commentary on this one. Good question. Does anyone agree that Dave Allen would run Deontay Wilder clean over but should fight Parker? I'm in agreement with you there. It's amazing, isn't it? I actually agree with quite a lot of things that you say. Profile picture, please. Exactly, Red. Promoters invest a lot of money in up-and-coming fighters. They can't pay that back in the future if they're dropped. It's just business, and it just is business. It's not personal. I understand. Of course, your feelings are going to be hurt if you've been let go, your hopes and dreams ruined. And this is why you need to have that really... You see how Pat Brown, I'm using him as an example, vicious, spiteful. He had all the nerves in the world. He's prepared to take punishment to go inside. This is professional boxing. It's not the amateurs. We're not here to score points and look pretty. We're here to inflict damage on our opponents. And that's why I like his attitude. Yet longevity. Oh, the damage. Listen, this is what you're signing up for. It's not chess matches. It's not tennis. It's not snooker. It's a violent sport by nature. So, yeah. Let's have a look. Yeah, Chris agrees with you. And man like Parsons on the DAZN broadcast that comes in for LR97. I need a proper username. Wesley Garcia. Hi, you're cute. Thank you very much. Wesley, if you had a profile picture, I might be able to look at you and say the same thing. Allen should stay away from Parker, though. Yeah, Parker, it's the breaking down that Parker would do to Dave Allen, because he likes to break his opponents down. So yeah, I think Alan Babbage has just disappeared into the night. Anybody that knows anything that's happened with Alan Babbage, please put it in the comments. Agreed. Parker is levels above Allen. Shouldn't even be a comparison, with respect. Riatpour will end up fighting Babbage. Is Babbage even still about? Bon Scott, October Red is the most unhating YouTube. Yeah, what's the point? All it's going to do is take years off my life. I'm old already. I don't need any more years taken off. Thank you very much. Right, it's Cordina and Gonzalez are in the ring. This is Cordina's comeback. Former world champion, going in against what I could say typical flat-footed, come forward, aggressive. Let's get in on the inside, Gonzalez. Somebody put on X, or was it on YouTube? So whoever it is, I apologize, I can't remember. This chap is in the same, was he in the same camp as Rodriguez that fought Galala Yafai in Birmingham? So what can we expect? If I've got it wrong, I've got it wrong, because sometimes I do get my underwear in a bit of a twist, but I'm convinced somebody told me that recently. Capital saying, yes, this version of Dave Allen will damage Deontay, but definitely not Parker. Main fight, Mr. Moments, 1982. Probably about half an hour after this one. It's usually about, what time is it now? Say about 10-ish. 10 past 10. There is no footage on here, guys. It is as per commentary and conversation. I'm just running alongside as I'm watching the DAZN app on my phone. AJ Wilder makes sense for both, but can't take a shot. Otherwise, they crumble. I think AJ would still win, but it's still a 50-50. It is, unfortunately, the battle of the losers, isn't it? However, and I don't mean that in a disrespectful way at all, but it is what it is. You've got to think you have your career, you're on the come up, you go through hurdles, you have some really good fights, you win belts, you defend them, and there's that peak, isn't there? Where are you going to go after your peak? You can maintain it for a bit, but eventually you are going to fade. And I do believe that's what we're seeing this time. And it's just like a natural life course of boxing. It's like a conveyor belt, and everyone drops off in the end. But for fighters, for champions, psychologically, I do believe that's extremely hard for them to accept. And I get it, why they're like, no, I don't want to go nowhere. And you see some of them fighting to the death in the ring. So here we go. Joel Cordina is taking his bow as the MC Diamante announces the fighters. I like the fact that he's with Gary Lockett. He's gone to Wales because he was in Ben Davidson's gym for a minute. I'm sure he was after he left the Sims's, the Matchroom gym in London. So it's nice to see that he's back in his hometown with Gary Lockett. Here we go. The nice homely voice of Adam Smith on comms. But obviously I'm not going to turn up the volume because now you're going to listen to me. So thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us. I will get back to the chat shortly, but this bout has now started. The bell has gone. We've seen the Gonzalez light on his feet, already looking to take the step forward. That heel is high off the floor of his back foot. Tucking up, nice guard as Cordina throws back. It's just establishing the distance for the jabs now as Cordina lands one clean on the stomach of Gonzalez. Nice little body jab there. Cordina shapes up, goes in for the shot to the body as Gonzalez comes back with a slight flurry of shots, but Cordina's able to slip them. A nice feint with the jab hand and to the body from Gonzalez as he circles round to the right. Cordina dipping in and throwing out his own jab. Both guys in the clinch, punching in the clinch. Ref having a look. Gonzalez pushes Cordina off and they reset. Let's have a look. Cordina nice there. Able to throw his jab in, slip out as Gonzalez looks to throw the 1-2 back, but it's just not landing yet. Cordina goes in with the 1-2 and the backhand lands clean on Gonzalez. The thing is we have to think about here is the pace. This is a 10-round fight. New beginnings. Do you want to rush in? Both guys in the clinch. This is probably going to get messy on the inside. They fight the way out of the clinch. We are halfway through round number 1 of 10 as the flurry of shots comes in from Gonzalez. The 1-2, the body hook, finishing with the headshot. Cordina slips the shots here. Ref gives Cordina a warning there about minding the back of the head of his opponent. Feints. Cordina goes in with the 1-2, the counter hook, the flurry of shots coming back from Gonzalez. Looking at the punch output, I mean, when you think about the Yafai fight a couple of weeks ago, the amount of shots that was thrown by his opponent was ridiculous. Yeah, ridiculous. What was it? Over 1,000 punches, and I think that was halfway through the fight. So let's have a look. A slower pace with this one. Obviously, the guys are heavier. Oh, lovely work. Jab, slip, jab from both of the fighters. Good boxing skill here. Anticipating what's coming back. Not just standing there waiting to get hit in the face. Cordina's got some lovely work there. He's always anticipating the counter. Obviously trying to keep it long, not afraid to get in on the inside, but he knows that Gonzalez wants to work on the inside. You can see that by the way that he throws the combinations. Round number 1 over. Nice first round. You know me, I am not scoring it. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning to all of you that have just joined. I'm Abs of October Red. This is a live watch along for Jack Catterall and Harlem Eubank. But at the moment, we are at the co-main and it's Joel Cordina's, should we say resurgence, or do we need to say that when he gets the win, if he gets the win? But we are here. Just in the break, let me have a quick look back in the chat. It's funny, I had DAZN advertising Netflix. So I was just trying to listen to what Lockett was saying. I think he was talking about him leaning back when he leans back to go back in with the counter, potentially to throw the shot, lean back, come back in with the counter. I think that was the gist of what Gary Lockett was saying in the corner there. Right, round number 2, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, Gonzalez comes in with the black, like moonlit glitter shorts. Comes straight in. Both guys on the inside in the clinch. Inside work going on. Refs having a go at them, telling both of the fighters to keep it clean. 1, 2, 3. Very good fight on the inside. Messy, clinching, fighting on the inside. This is what I'm saying. You know what the Mexican style is. They want to get in on the inside so they can really let their shots go. Cordina also, ego might let him try and get in on the inside, but he really just needs to keep on boxing and moving. Not saying that's easy. I'm not in the ring doing it. But I know that he's going to want to tear up. But Gonzalez is going to want to do this naturally. Stiff jab comes out from Gonzalez there. On the back foot, Cordina on the front foot, taking center of the ring. 1, 2, 3. Gonzalez comes in, both men in the clinch. A ref advises them. Put my teeth back in to separate. 1, 2 comes in from Gonzalez as he flicks out the jab. Cordina just slightly out of range there. Nice feints with the feet. Good balance from Cordina. Let's have a look. As he tucks up, tries to move forward, obviously looking to make the shots count. Making sure that if he's throwing, he's definitely making it count. Gonzalez once again grips him on the inside and the ref separates the two. Cordina tucking up, walking forward to try and get his own shots off on the inside, which I don't like, but let's see how it works out. He's a professional boxer. I'm just sitting here watching it. Just keep that chin down, Cordina. Right, he's dropped his lead hand. He's flicking out the jab, and this is Cordina I'm talking about as Gonzalez circles to the left. Throws a nice sharp jab out to Cordina. Jab to the body from Gonzalez. Jab to the head from Cordina. Nice hooks. This is the variations, the hooks, the body shots that's coming in from Gonzalez. These are the things that causes that, mid-fight concussion, unsteadiness on the legs, and which can eventually stop the opponents. It's all well and good, but he's also scoring points and looking like the more busier fighter. There's some reddening on the face of Cordina, but nothing to worry about. Nice 1-2 there from Cordina. The hook, I think if that had landed more better, it could have potentially wobbled the legs of Gonzalez, hypothetically speaking, because it didn't happen. Jab goes in from Cordina. Once again, the wildness, the flurry of shots comes in from Gonzalez. I don't know if I'm seeing a slight bit of frustration from Gonzalez because he's not landing the shots that he potentially the way he'd like to have more of an impact early. But we'll see how it goes. Let me jump back in this chat. Right, Mr. Sharp. The thinking American athlete tends to gravitate towards more sound careers, i.e. football, basketball. Therefore, the prize fighter selection isn't as broad as other places. Their bargaining reflects that. And I do agree with that. Obviously, boxing's like the lowest sport in America because they've got so many other key sports where it's football and boxing in the UK. So that's like top range for us, not excluding the likes of tennis, etc. But you know what I mean. Quesrol, salute back to you. I think we're going into, is it round number 3? I'll be back in the chat shortly. Let's have a look. Both guys take the center of the ring. 1-2 coming in from Gonzalez to answer the jab that came out from Cordina. Yes, we're in round number 3 of 10. Right, you can see that Gonzalez dips to the stomach, throws in the body shot, and goes in for the overhand, and usually has a flurry of shots after that. So you can see that he's looking for combinations upstairs, downstairs, and it's up to Cordina to start to realize this pattern and see how he can nullify that. Make him miss, make him pay. In and out, quick on your feet, using your angles, which he's doing. There's some nice lateral movement. I'm not seeing any straight lines here. That is so irritating to watch, to see fighters use the straight lines when just move laterally. Use them feet. Get that ladder out in the gym. Work those legs. Let's have a look. We've got just under 2 minutes left of round number 3 of this 10-rounder. Once again, Gonzalez is on the back foot, but it's almost like he's trying to feed Cordina into catching with something silly. Comfortable on the back foot. Usually what I'd say is the Mexican front foot, forward, bully tactics, pressure when I talk about the bully tactics. But Gonzalez is comfortable on the back foot here. And like I said, it's almost like he wants to lead Cordina into something so he can really offload that punishment. Once again, the body shots, the flurry of shots coming in. Cordina like pushes him back with his own shots, his jab. Cheeky, sweeping in a cheeky uppercut there, a 1-2. And this is the work of Cordina. Gonzalez just moves, circling around, like going underneath Cordina's shots and going around to the right. Nice reading. This is a 1-2 coming in from Cordina. That lead hand low, looking to flick it out as he does, double jabbing it and throwing the backhand. Double jab comes back in from Gonzalez. One, two, three coming in there. You can see that the punches from Gonzalez are really tough and impactful. You know, he is throwing them with like pure intent. I know that sounds silly, but there's no pouring is what I'm saying. There's no pouring in his shots. You know, sometimes you'll get fighters that will throw the 1, 2, 3, but the venom comes in the 3. He's throwing that venom with all of the shots. You see that as he throws out the 1, 2, 3, 4. This is the combination coming in there. And I don't know what's happened. Right. I don't know, but my DAZN app has just decided to close down. I don't know why it does this. It's been doing it all evening, and then it's been cutting into the fights and then playing football. I'm like, what are you doing? Apologies, guys, as I'm just trying to get this back online. Right, we're in a break. I think we've got Eubank in the changing room. DAZN, you really need to sort this out. Babbage needs to retire. That comes from Andrew. Chris is saying AJ Wilder will chase money fights. AJ only got Wilder and Fury left. Yeah, in my opinion. Wilder only got AJ fight left. And I actually still think Fury can still continue. But not interested in a Usyk trilogy. Is Usyk interested in a trilogy? We just don't know, do we? Usyk will retire after the Dubois rematch when he becomes 2-time undisputed heavyweight champion. Is that no doubt, Chris? I believe Dave Allen is a good boxer and has a great chin. Lack of enthusiasm prevented him from being much greater. I wouldn't write him off. Remember, he went the distance with a young Dillian White. I think Dave Allen was probably put in way too early into some really, really tough fights. Because remember, he's still quite young. Is he even 30 yet? I'm not even sure. But he's put in a lot of hard fights quite early. So maybe that's why the enthusiasm, you know, the motivation might have left him a little bit. These guys are now in round 4. It's much of the same going on at the moment. So I'm just going to jump into the chat. So apologies if you think I should be continuing with the commentary. But it is much of the same. We've got Cordina on the front foot, center of the ring. Gonzalez on the back foot, holding up the high guard, getting ready for Cordina to walk into something and letting go of the flurry of the shots. So, yeah, I think if Dave Allen had a different kind of start in his career, it may have had a different turn for him. But the thing is, he's got his mojo back and, you know, he's exciting to watch. He's an absolute character. I really love speaking to him. He's a bit of a pugilist of the sport as well. He's taught me a couple of things about the sport. He really analyzes his fighters. And I think maybe he's going to fight Jamie Takivi. There is some suggestion. These guys are going toe-to-toe at the moment. The referees, okay, he's grabbed hold of him. I was about to say he's letting them fight out of the clinch. I think Dave Allen wants Wilder. I think it's potentially Jamie Takivi fight next for the vacant British. Nice body shot going into Gonzalez from Cordina there. I like that work. Both of them now working the body. Some body shots coming in from both of them. From Gonzalez to the body and to the head with his right hand. Body shots. Good work from Cordina here. Very aggressive. Going into the body and to the head of Gonzalez. 1-2, and it's like clubbing over hands coming in from Gonzalez as he flicks out the backhand like a jab. Is he switch stance or is it my eyes? I think Gonzalez is a switch there. Cordina tries to get the shots in and he just rolls underneath him to frustrate the work that Cordina is trying to get out. Nice work though. Cordina continues to walk forward, throws his own 1-2. Gonzalez comes back with that backhand again. I think he's in orthodox now. So yeah, I can say that is a backhand coming in from Gonzalez on the back foot. And like I said, I'm convinced that he's trying to lure Cordina into something as Cordina goes in for a beautiful uppercut and a body shot there. Some really lovely work on the inside from Cordina as he marches forward and pushes Gonzalez onto the back foot, looking slightly uncomfortable. Don't know if he's playing possum. End of another round. Right. So has Eddie not learned leave the Mexicans alone? Gary Skeptic, Dave Allen versus Jamie Takivi for the British title. Yep, Gary just touched on that there. Allen should chase that British title. He wins that fight. Oh, you reckon he gets Jamie out of there? Allen deserves a British title fight. Don't worry about Wilder. And Harlem's got a good chance tonight, Red. I think he has as well, to be fair, Jerry. I've sat down, I've thought about this fight several times, Jerry, and there's pros and cons for both fighters. And I don't know if it's because I feel like I'm on the spot to make a decision, but I can't call it because my gut is saying Catterall points, Harlem stoppage. That's what my gut's saying. So that's how either of them win. But you know me and my predictions are not always the best. All right, we're going into round 5. We're halfway mark already. Round 5 of 10. Okay. And Gonzalez came out gun blazing, pushing Cordina back onto the ropes, throwing a plethora of shots. The ref got in there then. Don't know if that's a little bit of favoritism towards Cordina, because Gonzalez was getting some shots off while Cordina was stuck on the ropes there as he just goes to throw a 1-2 overhand, but failed. And that's from Cordina. Head body, the hooks coming in from Gonzalez. Jab. This is the work coming in from Cordina, pushing Gonzalez onto the back foot, who circles around at that time to the right as he tucks and pushes his head in low once again to frustrate the work, the neat boxing work that could come from Cordina. Equally frustrating for Cordina as he pushes him back because he's trying to reset, he's trying to use his range. But Gonzalez has got different ideas as he tucks up. I think he's in the orthodox stance. Once again, coming in head first, tucking into Cordina, frustrating his work. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. All right, Gonzalez. Oh, beautiful shot landed by Cordina. An uppercut comes back from Gonzalez. You just saw just a quick second of Gonzalez being stunned, but he comes in back with his own shots. Once again, Cordina on the ropes. Ref jumps in to separate the two. When they're on the ropes, let them fight it out. Let Cordina clinch him, spin out. Oh, wow! And Gonzalez has rocked Cordina there. Whoa! 1, 2, 3, 4. Uppercut coming in from Gonzalez. Uppercut coming in from Gonzalez once again. This is dangerous for Cordina. He's going with a plethora of shots. Cordina looks like he's struggling a bit here. Give your head a wobble. Ref separates the two. Cordina comes back with a body shot. Gonzalez is swinging like a crazy man in there. Ref jumps in and separating them. Let them fight it out. This is gonna. What round are we in? Round number 5. Dangerous here. Like I said, Gonzalez trying to get in on the inside, but Cordina's not having it. He started to push Gonzalez back, who's slipping and tucking on the ropes, pulls himself off the ropes. A 1-2 comes in from Cordina. Body shot comes in. Gonzalez swings and misses with the left hand. Whoa. Good round. If this cuts off again, what is wrong with the zone? I don't even know if it's me. No, my internet's on full bars. It's not me. The zone app. Let's have a look and see if I can back to live. Yeah, I'm getting the circle of truth there. What a round. Let's jump back into this chat while I wait for DAZN to sort itself out. Skyliner, thank you very much. Great interview. I saw your comment as well, to be fair. No, we're not, but I just get on with him because I find him quite funny. And I was brought up with the old school mentality that you respect your elders because, you know, they've been through stuff that you haven't been through. And when I talk about elders, we're actually more or less the same age. He's got more, obviously, experience in the boxing than I have. So I sit there and I listen and he teaches me a thing or two. And he was the very first boxing promoter that I ever, if you want to call it, interviewed. Wasserman, and that shout out to Max McCracken from Acott's Green Boxing Gym because he'd signed Matty Harris and Matty Harris had signed with Wasserman, and Max McCracken said, come down to the open day and you can get to interview Callie. And that's exactly what happened. And that's why I've got so much respect for Max McCracken from Acott's Green Boxing Gym because it's him that put me on. So Callie was the very first promoter I spoke to. And the first time I spoke to him, he really liked the way that I conducted my questions. So yeah, so we're not mates outside. That's the first time I've seen him probably in a couple of years, but it was a catch up that was well overdue. But thank you for your comment. Yeah, of course, I think Harlem's got a chance. Of course, has he got a good chance? I don't know. Like I said, this is the argument that I'm having with myself. I really don't know, Jerry. I don't know. Shout out to Jay's Crepes. Close rounds, all of them. I do agree. I do agree. I'm listening to Red while watching the darts. We'll change to boxing for the main event when it starts. You have fun watching the darts. I've got it 2-1 to Cordina. Obviously, I'm way back in the chat now. Good finish from Gonzalez. Let me get back. Right, I think Iron Stealth, good evening. Gosh, I haven't seen you for a while. I think Dave will achieve something special to top his career off. Yeah, definitely. That's funny. October Reg, you make the DAZN more legible with your commentary. Thank you very much. But obviously, I'm not in a special club, so I won't end up over that way. But I will shout out to Warren Boxing Management that's given me the opportunity to go and do commentary for their fights. I've done 2 so far. They've had 4 shows. I've been on 2 of their commentary panels. To shout out to Sonny Warren, Alfie Warren, Ollie Bessel, all of Warren Boxing Management because they've given me an opportunity. And obviously saw something that they liked in me. So yeah, it's a shout out to them. If I'm wrong, which I have been for a few predictions, it's all right. I'm keeping one eye on the fight, but I'm mindful I'm a bit behind in the chat. Then the clip. Right, if I'm wrong, which I have been on a few predictions, then clip that comments of me saying music wins, but I have no doubts. Listen, we don't know how we don't know. Alan's had a strange career, definitely. And that's from Bon Scott. Yeah, the main event is definitely next. Oh, that's been answered. I've got a double on for Harlem Eubank and Daniel Dubois to both win, just over 10-1. Jerry, I never understand betting. I wouldn't have a clue how to do it, which is probably a good thing. So I'll leave it to you experts. Right, Richard is saying, I'd like to see Harlem Eubank versus Conor Benn for the welterweight world title. He was just in his changing room as well, keeping a little bit of a sharp eye on him while he was getting his hands wrapped. Hopefully one of them can get a belt and make it happen. Matchroom fighters scoring. Oh, I've missed that. Yeah, and definitely shout out to Darren Robison, one of the original subscribers that's been here from the start. If Harlem wins, he does deserve the Benfight. Jack Catterall warming up by skipping. Nice warm up that is. It's light, but it's effective. And I'll say skipping is a perfect warm up and a cool down. Harlem looks a better boxer than Senior, but obviously needs to translate that to a title at some point. I believe he cannot afford to lose the Catterall fight if he's to progress. I think he's all right though, Bon. I think Harlem's in a better position than Catterall, because if he loses, it doesn't really matter when you look at the amount of fights that each of them have had. Iron Stealth, the best watch along in the... I'd like to say your check's in the pulse, but it isn't. But thank you very much, Iron Stealth. I hope you like my new look where the chat's going up on the screen. You know, everyone's doing new bits, so I thought I'd jump on the bandwagon of new bits. We're going into round number 7 of 10. So, yeah, just over 3 rounds left with these two guys. Good fight, competitive. Good work from Cordina. Has definitely been hurt in there, but he's stunned his opponent also. It's a bit rumble tumble. I do not know what is wrong with this DAZN app. It keeps on stopping and starting. I'm going to throw my phone out the window in a bit. Yep, Harlem Eubank versus Conor Benn for the welterweight world title. That's from Richard. So, yeah, we've done that one. The similarity in his movement to Chris Eubank senior. Okay, interesting. And yes, he is strong. He's definitely strong. And you can see that in his more recent work. I think he's been with his coach from the beginning, because me being me, presume that he'd had a different coach because he improved. But he put me in my box very quickly and said, no, I've stayed with the same coach. We've just grown together as a team. And obviously the results are showing. So shout out to his corner. Let's have a look. Yeah, it's definitely a good scrap. I couldn't justify buying the Catterall fight. He's just well boring as a fighter. I watched the highlights, and this is Bon Scott. Relax and heal. You look great. I like that username, Relax and Heal. Is that mentally, physically, all round? Right, this DAZN app is absolutely terrible. This app is just swinging, circling around, and now I'm losing valuable moments. I'm going to have to refresh the app in a moment because it keeps on chopping in and out. And there's definitely, for the first time, nothing wrong with my Wi-Fi. But anyway, where's my manners? Good evening to you all. Good afternoon, good morning, good night, wherever you are. Welcome, a warm welcome to all of you. This is a live watch along. I call it conversation and commentary because sometimes I'm not commentating, sometimes I'm conversing with you guys. So thank you very much for joining us. We are at the co-main event. It is Joel Cordina versus Gonzalez. It's been a good to-in and fro-in fight. We've seen some good work from both of them. But it's almost time for the main event. I think we're in round number 7 and it's a 10-round fight. Thank you also to all of you that have been in the chat, keeping the conversation going. We love it. Like I said, if you're new here, I just want to let you know that October Red, my channel, which is our channel, has got the best subscribers. Look at the chat. Look how we are with each other. Look at the conversation. You're not going to get this good anywhere else. And I do say that with my chest. So welcome to all of you. Yes, it would be nice if you could do what it says on that thing that's going across slowly. You know, I don't ask for many favors, and it's not a favor. Only do it if you want to, but it would be nice if you could. So thank you very much for joining us. Yeah, let's get back to the chat. I always like to, I hope not, Jamie. If you have, put it away. You're going to blind those poor little mice in the corner. Here we go. Oh my days, this app is frustrating the hell out of me. Right, Gonzalez, it looks like he was hurt there, but I'm going to have to close this app and open it back up because it keeps on faffing about and I don't know why. Because my Wi-Fi signal's all cool. So while I'm waiting for that to load up, get back to the boxing. Let's see if we can join it back live for the 10th time this evening. I think we're going into round number 8 of 10. We're coming into the later part of this. I think something was happening there, but my app froze. It looks like Cordina is throwing a body shot in there. Gonzalez is coming back with his own hooks to the head going in from Gonzalez. We've just got 2 minutes left in round number 8 of 10, and then we're going to be on the co-main. Please put who you think is going to win in the co-main. Absolutely buzzing for that fight. Joe, how you doing? Hope you've been good at church, you know, all your confessions and all that. Right, Capital saying Harlem will win and Catterall will have a long, hard think about his career afterwards. Harlem is tough, so Catterall cannot stop him. And Catterall is not the best of boxers. Say how you feel, Capital Commodities. Say how you feel. So, Andrew, I've said that earlier. I don't know. Don't know who I've got winning. Yeah, I don't know. My cup of tea. Good evening to you. I like that. It's like my cup of tea. My cup of tea. I'll ask you, the chat, let my cup of tea know who's winning. I don't do scoring. It looks like they're both going at it. We've got Gonzalez on the rope. Guys are in the clinch, fighting in the clinch. The ref walks towards them. They're like, yeah, we better separate. Yeah, Gonzalez still on the back foot, but not uncomfortable. Comfortable fighting on the back foot. I was waiting for him to potentially get Cordina to walk onto something. Not seeing that quite yet. 1-2 coming in. The hook coming in. Cordina tucks up. Literally pivots around to his right. Takes the center of the ring back again. As Gonzalez tucks up. Double jab. And a hook coming in from Cordina. Gonzalez throws in his own jab, jumps in, and then throws the hook. I think the ref has given them some polite words saying, if you see me walking towards you, just split up, will you guys? And once again, this app is just behaving silly. I don't know if it's the reception, but it's literally just spinning around like a freak. So I'm losing out valuable seconds of this fight. Right. Strange that people say that Harlem deserves the Ben fight. That's like saying he deserves the Jake Paul fight. All about the money, not the chance of fighting a champion. It's a name, isn't it? It's the names, though, isn't it? Isn't this where boxing is now, Bond? Whether we like it or not, it's all about the names, isn't it? It's name brand. Listen, I'm saying we've got some real good quality fighters out there. I don't dispute that. But we are living in the new world where it's all about quantity and not quality. There's not, when you look at the quality, where is the quality? And it's like, I'm going to go after that person, not because they're good, but they've got like millions of followers and I want their followers. And that's the kind of Black Mirror world that people are living in. Really weird, but it's where we are. I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole, but that's what I think. Right, Harlem will win KO round 7 to 9. Raymond, good evening to you. Sense an upset. Joseph is saying Cordina is solid. KO Boxing TV, love your interview, mate. Get on my stick. No, I won't do such a thing. I don't even know what that is. Does it burn? The Mario, what's up from Chicago? I'm loving this. Getting some of our brethren across the water. So welcome to you. I appreciate the company. We appreciate the company. And thanks for getting involved in the chat. Chicago. I need to probably go back over to America. I want to go to Texas. I want to go to Texas. Yes. Legal Eagles, great fight. Cordina's targeting that floating liver. Yeah, he's doing some work there. Definitely. And he's just done it again as he whips in a body shot. But I think I might be a few seconds out because this app is playing up. Catterall's issue is that he can't punch. And I think, yeah, Harlem's definitely got power. Yes, 100%. Red Army, lol. Rob, when's the fight? Which one? You mean the main event, Rob? Well, where are we? We're around number 9 of 10. So it's a 10 rounder. So I'd probably say within the realistically next 10 minutes will be the main event. And that's it, Jerry. You're right. Do you want a title fight for 20 grand or fight someone famous for a mil? This is where we are. Doesn't matter about quality now. That's dead in the water. This is the coal main. Yep. Okay, I'm glad it's not just me having problems with the app. Iron Stealth, it's doing my head in. Iffy, good evening to you. Harlem didn't grow up as rich as Junior. He fights like a hungry fighter that has nothing. Catterall is about to get hurt. All right, Jerry's saying Harlem winning this one. Harlem winning this one, please. Oh, winning the big one, please. Thank God for that, Jamie, because you were scaring the ants that were rummaging around on your living room floor. Chris Eubank Sr. is in the building, all for you TV. That's good. He always shows up to support Harlem anyway. There's no surprise there. Is he in the building? Well, he usually is. He usually does support Harlem. He's been at his fights. He's been in the ring with him after he's won the fights. Lyndon, yeah. The zone app needs to improve. I've come off it, yeah. I don't blame you. Donna Jones says, happy 4th of July weekend to all my UK peeps from America. Yeah. Good evening to you, Donna. Right, Alan is saying Harlem to win by KO. Legal Eagles, thank you so much. Peter Geraghty. Oh, we've got Ireland in the chat as well. What's up, lady? Love Irish. I love this. So we've got Chicago. Where else did we have? Where's Jay Sharp from? Where was he from? Was he from New York? And we've got Ireland in the chat. I love this. So I'd like to see Jack win, but I think Harlem takes it. Interesting. Toothless Truth Teller is saying that Catterall all the way. And this is what I'm saying. We can't tell who's going to win. That's why the chat is divided on who's going to win. If we're looking at experience, Catterall all day. But where is Catterall in his boxing career right now? That's the question, isn't it? I loved his performance against Prograis. I enjoyed watching that. But then we saw Barboza. I thought he was just taking his time because he wanted to take his time, but he was very slow off the mark and he just couldn't pull it off. So am I doubting everything about Catterall because of his performance with Barboza? And these are the arguments that I have in my head. And then all this time, I'm just seeing Harlem Eubank get better and better, but he's not faced the caliber of opponents that Catterall has. So we can't forget that. This fight's a test. And I like the fact that the chat's divided because we really don't know how this is going to go. Let's have a look. The Toothless Truth Teller watching from Thailand. So we've got Thailand in that. Everywhere's in here tonight. Thank you so much. I really appreciate this. Jay Sharp, Brooklyn, via Aruba and Dominican Republic. Is that because you're a special thing or is you just on holiday? Jamie McGregor, if I buy a super chat, do you get paid? Yeah, but I don't know. Yeah, I think so. But thank you. But don't worry about it. But thank you. Chris Welsh, only pressure Harlem has is his name. Yep. Catterall to get the stoppage in the 9th. Okay. This is what I'm saying. Splits. Everyone can't really make their mind up. Apologies. I really do need to get back to this fight. We're in the final round and it looks like we've got a minute and a half left. Like I said, I'm sorry if there's a lag. The DAZN app has been cutting in and out for the past, about 10 minutes of this fight. So I'm having a little bit of a nightmare with it at the moment. I will be putting something on Twitter about it. Going all Karen on Twitter, moaning about the app that I pay for not working. Oh, Dre Day watching from Washington, D.C. Much love. Listen, you guys, look, if I was any paler, you'd be able to see my cheeks getting red. I'm absolutely blushing and I'm very happy with all the support that I'm getting, not just from the UK, but outside as well. So thank you very much and welcome to all of you. Like I says, get involved in the chat. It's a good social group that we've got here, family, community, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, we all love boxing. We all love a bit of banter, so we will have banter. I definitely love banter. And yeah, we're a friendly lot. Sometimes we do have a little bit of in-house arguing where some of us don't get on with each other, and that's fine. But it's never anything serious. We might not kiss and make up, but we make up and we just get on with it. And that's the type of community I like to have. So yeah, welcome to all of you. Harlan won't win convincingly, if at all, and that's Jamie McGregor. Right, let's have a look. Right, we're in the last. Oh, beautiful hook gone in there to the head of Gonzalez from Cordina. Whoa! Okay, it's all right. He threw a shot. He threw that much power in it. He slipped onto the floor. I thought Cordina was going to catch him with one then. You know, if I saw that, I would have just whacked him. You're staying down, fella. But anyway, that's why I'm not a boxer, because I'll probably get disqualified. But that's it. That's the end of that fight. So we are getting ready for the main. Whoever you thought won that fight, please put it in the chat. I can't judge a fight to save my life. It was a good fight. A very good combat fight for Cordina. He did well. He's showing that he's still got it. So I'm happy for him. And hopefully he'll get some more fights made in the future. Gonzalez definitely came to win tonight as well. Never underestimate the Mexicans. They are always hungry, so to speak, until they start to get the big dough. Remember Andy Ruiz? I think it was it Mauricio Lara as well? They just went off because they got that big money, didn't know what to do with it, and they fell off. That's the only risk. The hunger's always there to start off with, but can you maintain that hunger? Let's have a look. Also, Donna says he's watching from Baltimore, Maryland, the home of... Oh, wow. What's happening with Tank, Donna? That's what we want to know. Is that a rematch happening with Roach or what? What's happening? Have you heard any whispers? Anything that you can share with us? But welcome to you as well. So shout out to everyone from Baltimore in Maryland. Legal Eagle, spot on. What an absolute war. Cordina, in my opinion, has won. Alan Thompson, I like how everyone in the chat is polite. This is better than DAZN. Hi, DAZN. Don't fancy boxing on Misfits Red now. Not unless they do a pensioners one. If they do a pensioners one, then I might. Even if I get disqualified, I might. Could be fun. Right. Capital saying Cordina won by 3 rounds. Mark Joel says Eubank for the technical knockout. We like it. Toon, Black and White Army, Iron Stealth, Newcastle upon Tyne in the house. I've met quite a few people from Newcastle as well, and they're very, very funny, very, very humorous and friendly. So shout out to those from Newcastle. I met Alan Shearer probably about 17 years ago. I think he was a captain then. Was he still playing? And he was such a lovely man. Michael Owen wasn't, though. But Alan Shearer was. He was lovely. 99.91. Was it that wide? Was it that wide? Congratulations to Joel Cordina. Happy that he was it that wide, or is that just me? I thought it was a bit closer than that. Shout out to all 718 of you that are watching live. I really appreciate you all here. If you could kindly follow the instructions that you can see floating across the bottom of the screen, that would be very kind of you. That's my best, can I say, a king's English now, because this is where we are. We are in the patriarchy under King Charles. So if you could, I'd really appreciate that. Get involved in the chat. We are working our way slowly and steadily towards the main event, which I can't wait for. So many questions are going to be answered in this fight. I spoke to Callie this week at the press conference for the main event, and he was shocked. He says, I don't know why Catterall took this fight. He's a world level fighter, and it's not like this fight is going to give him that golden handshake where they can walk off into the sunset, never to box again. In other words, it's not massively high paid fight in Callie Sauerland's eyes. So he said he doesn't know why he took the fight, and he believes that it's a dangerous fight for him to take. No disrespect to obviously Catterall and his world level pedigree, but he did say that he thinks it's a dangerous fight. So we'll see. We'll see. Well, not long till we find out. I know everyone's like, yeah, I think this is going to happen. I think I just can't call it. But to be fair, with most fights, I can't really call it. I think maybe Dubois might beat Usyk this time. I don't know. I mean, Usyk is elite. Elite of the elite. Generational elite. But Dubois got the power to work that body. Right, let's have a look. I know it's a different place. I'm just saying people from Newcastle are very friendly. Oh, what's Dana saying? September the 16th, I think the rematch against Roach is happening. We'll see what happens. I heard that there's a bit of a grey cloud over it, like there's not necessarily confirmed, but maybe that's just Rumourville. That was wide, Capitals put in, but the right man won. Iron Stealth is saying, I think Harlan will pull out a number here. Rob Jeffrey, Catterall does have power. He's the only guy to drop Taylor. Oh, I was there for that in Scotland. I watched that. I was there ringside. What a beautiful fight that was. But this is what I'm saying, Rob. This is what I was saying earlier. Can he still do that? Did he drop Prograis? He dropped Prograis, didn't he? Or did he drop with Prograis? Or did they drop each other? I'm trying to cast my mind back to Manchester with them pair fought. Let's have a look. Georgie Racer. Who's that? I'm looking for a Eubank stoppage win. That's Emrad Arawak. Is that Arawak as in Jamaican Arawak? If so, good evening. Jamie McGregor. You could have been somebody. You could have. But you decided to make explicit comments and talking about scaring all of the wildlife that you've got running around your living room. So maybe you could have been something. Maybe. Right, LR comes back in. Why have you still got a black profile pic? You've had enough time this evening to go away and chat. I want to see what you look like. I've got to see it. Have you ever seen these? I'm going to drift off while these are waffling. So please feel free to zone out if you want. Have you ever seen these like internet trolls that troll like they really are pretty women? There's like ex-models, actresses, whatever they are, celebrities. We'll leave it as celebrities, and they're trolling these women and saying horrible things about them. But then what people are doing is like they're screenshotting their photos and putting their pictures up, and some of them are absolutely horrific. And you think, how dare you even say that about that person? Have you looked in the mirror lately? I'd love to do that. In fact, I might actually do a live and go through some of my comments, some of the derogatory ones, and see if I can do that. And we could have a live show where we just roast the trolls. Could do that. Might do it. So yeah, Jamaicans, shout out to Arawak in the chat. We like it. Right, got that one bang on. Cordina wide points win, but he did look in trouble a couple of times. I think it was just a bit wide. Yeah, the right man won, like we said earlier. But yeah, I think just a little bit. There's nothing in Capital saying there's nothing in Usyk's last fight against Fury that shows that Dubois can win. Look, I'm just trying to be positive for the Brit. Usyk is aware of the body shots that Dubois is bringing, and he's experienced enough to mitigate them. Usyk wins again. Listen, Capital, I can't argue with that. I'm just trying to be a bit hopeful for the Brit, that's all. Because I do believe that Daniel can beat him. I do believe that. Catterall shocks and wins easy, and that's by K Lakes. Scott Hincliffe, Red is no pensioner. I had the did you? I had the privilege of meeting and grabbing a photo with her at Whittaker Cameron fight. Did you? Equally as lovely and down to earth as she is on her channel. Oh, thank you very much, Scott. I appreciate that. Oh, thank you so much. That's a very nice thing to say. If Harlem Eubank, this is LR97, if Harlem Eubank wins by split decision and Real Madrid win by 3-1, that's a big bet win for me. Gamble responsibly, ladies and gentlemen. And I can afford to take them to a date to where? I know you're not saying you're going to take me on a date to KFC. I don't date, by the way. So I can't date. Look, I'm happily married. So there is no dates. Oh, you did say KFC. Wow. You wouldn't last long, would you? Taking females out to KFC. I'd prefer not a Costa, a Cafe Nero. I like Cafe Nero. Bucket with dessert. Andrew, don't encourage him, Andrew. Can't see Catterall losing this, and that's from Rob Jeffries. Eubank in 6. Look at this. Stephen Ray counteracts what Rob says almost immediately. Darius Horn. Jack's got the skills to do him in, I reckon. Well, we will soon find out, won't we? Because it's almost time for the main event. But shout out to Gary Lockett in the corner of Joel Cordina. Really good decision to go back to him, to go to Wales, to go to him. He's a good trainer, no nonsense, gets to the point, you know, because we don't want to hear any BS. We just want trainers that no frills, get to the point, just basic boxing men that know how to teach their fighters how to win, and that when their fighters are potentially in trouble or things aren't going their way, they've got the IQ to tell their fighter or to nudge their fighter to go in the right direction. The more of a celebrity you are, the more you forget about the fighters, and then it starts becoming about you. So I love these old school trainers that literally just quiet in the... Paul Stevenson's another one. He just keeps his trap shut and he's in the corner and he's doing the work with his boys. Gary Lockett, another one. He's the same. This is not an exhaustive list. This is just from what I've seen from trainers. And I do like those. I keep an eye on them. And I do want to listen to what they're saying to their fighters in the corner, because I can learn from that and then look at the fight, and then I can potentially start to anticipate or say what shots the fighters should be taking to potentially nullify the work that's coming in from their opponent. That's why I'm always keen. If you've been on the lives with me before, you'll see that I'm always trying to listen into the corners. All right, Catterall levels above Eubank, and that's from Nathan Corrick. Good evening to you. Einstein says Catterall dropped Pro Grey twice in the 9th. There we go. Thank you for reminding me. I was there as well. Arawak says, don't underestimate Harlem. The kid is pepper. I do agree with you there. Kay Lakes, totally agree about the trainers, and it's spot on. Haven't you noticed? And I'll say this to Kay Lakes, because obviously you agree with what I'm saying. As soon as a trainer, you start getting nominated for Trainer of the Year, best this, they start flopping. The performances, the fighters start to flop. It's happened so many times. It's almost like a curse. As soon as you say that somebody's fantastic and you start listening to that, you're absorbing that, your head's coming off the game. It's the fighters that make the trainers, you know, leave it as that. Oh, this DAZN app is doing my head in. Right, here we go. Proper down to earth. I think I am. I think it's because I've got a little bit of if I'm honest, I think it's because I've got a bit of a screw loose. Yeah, it's just the way I am. Why haven't I seen your channel before? Because the monopolizers are making sure that you don't see my channel, Mr. Lakes or Miss Lakes. Sorry, I don't know if you're male or female. Yes, but thank you. You've got it now. You know it's here now, so hopefully you'll come back. Donna's saying August the 16th, Roach versus Tank is happening. I know him and his assistant trainer. and I could listen to you talk all day. I love your accent, and you sound better than my British mate from Wakefield, love. Not many people like the Birmingham accent, but guess what? I'm not going anywhere anyway. So yeah, thank you very much. What's that? Nerve Racks Art Productions. Catterall is one paced. I think Eubank nicks a close decision. Let's have a look. This app, I'm going to strangle the zone as soon as I get off here. Hold on, let me plug my charger in. Let's have a look. Soz. Yeah, trust the computer. Jesus. When you want things to, when you do everything on your own, the production, everything, and then things just go wrong, that's when you'll find slight pauses on here. Let me get back to the chat. Right, I think Eubank nicks a close decision. Okay. So when I watched Harlem versus McKenna, that's the fighter, and I saw Harlem's boxing IQ, defense, jab, foot movement, that's when I knew he'd come of age. If Catterall is not 100% tonight, Harlem will make a mug. Capital. In fact, have that on the screen. Have that on the screen, because this is exactly what I've said. Harlem's boxing IQ, defense, jab, foot movement, that's when I knew he'd come of age. That's exactly what I said to him when I spoke to him. He's improved. I even accused him of getting a new trainer because I just thought, you've improved that much. Surely you've changed teams. And he was like, no, I've been with my same trainer for 11 years, while he was giving me the evils. But yeah, spot on. I do agree with that. Catterall has got to be 100%. Well, to be fair, fighters do need to be 100% anyway, right? Jerry's saying my money's on Harlem. He's too hungry. I do agree with the hunger. I thought Eubank was going to, senior, was going to make an appearance. I don't know. He usually does. Right, Dana's saying Usyk has cut through the British heavyweight like a hot knife through butter. He definitely has. It's because he's a generational elite. His training is in secret. He's not a social media guy. He does everything behind closed doors. You have to almost have an audition if you want to be part of his camp. And I know that because I know fighters that have gone there. There's a process. He's what you'd call a consummate professional. He's been written off all the way. And this is why I don't know why he split with Alex Krasiuk, because I had a really interesting conversation with Alex Krasiuk, and he told me about all of the hardships that Usyk had, continuously being written off, continuously being fobbed off. Even every time he was getting the wins, his come up wasn't easy. And he's achieved so much. You can't take that away from him. He's a phenomenal fighter. The only reason why I'm saying, Dubois, of course I want Dubois to win. He's British. I'm going to back him. But I'd never take away absolutely anything from Usyk. And if he wins, my heart wouldn't be broken, because he is what he is. But if he does win, and it's up to him, what else is there to achieve? He can actually walk off into the sunset. He will be in records for years to come, and people will speak about him, even though because he's not that social media guy. He doesn't seem to get all of the accolades that he deserves, but maybe that's because we have a one-sided view of that, and maybe in other countries, other places, he's like a hero. But yeah, generational elite, and even if he's not appreciated that much when we're around, he definitely will be appreciated in years to come. Another Brummie. Shout out to the Brummies. Lakes, you're a mister. Thank you. You never know, do you? You never know. And I don't want to offend anybody. I think Harlem on a split decision. Split decision. Okay, Roman's saying Eubank to win on points. Okay. Bonjour, monsieur. All the best from Saint-Étienne. François. Français. Parlez-vous français, François? How did you say good evening? Can't remember. I did pass French at school. So good evening to you. And I hope you're well. Ça va. Ça va, monsieur. K-Lake says that he'll be back. Where are you going, Kay Lakes? You're not allowed to leave. You are trapped in the virtual room of conversations and commentary. And if you've just joined us, all 1,000 of you that are now in the chat, 1,057 people that have joined for the live chat, welcome to all of you, whatever corner of the earth, of the circular earth you are from. You're all welcome here. Wow, it's bouncing up. It's going up to 1,050. That's what we like to see. We are heading towards the main event. I do apologize because my DAZN app is playing up. So if I am slightly behind, I really do apologize. But if you're new here, get involved in the chat, get involved in the conversation. If you'd like to follow the instructions of the floating words that are going across the bottom of the screen, I'd appreciate that very much. But if you don't want to, that's fine. I have an open door policy. You are welcome to leave at any time, unless you're a regular subscriber and you're not allowed to leave, because that I'll take offense to. Right. Until he got hit in the body and squealed like a little Gary Skeptic. Yeah. White needs to stay away from... No, Jay. White doesn't need to stay away from a Talma. Moles is a Talma. And shout out to Moles is a Talma, and shout out to Dillian White. Dillian White is the only British fighter that says, you know what, I'll fight you. And how many times have you seen interviews with fighters saying, yeah, I'll fight him if the money's right? No, I don't want to fight him. Oh, I've seen what he's capable of. And it's like, oh, for God's sake. Dillian White, whatever you want to say about him, is prepared to take a risk. He knows that he's going in there as the underdog, but he doesn't care. He just wants to fight. Yes, of course, he's getting suitably compensated for it. And why shouldn't he? We know what Moses is capable of, but I respect him for taking the fight, because who's taking it? Who's taking the fights? You've heard his manager say that they have problems in getting opponents, because either they're going to price themselves too high, not necessarily pricing out, but price themselves too high because they know what the risk is. So Dillian said, you know what? I'll have it. So shout out to Dillian White for taking the fight. But good evening to you, Jay Greens. Oh, that's probably because he might be Dudley, so I'm a Brummie. There's just a slight difference in the accents. Their Black Country accents are slightly stronger. Do you know what I mean? It's way out there. It's different. I don't speak like that. I'm a Brummie. We speak different. No, Tommy, we don't speak about those things on here. Tommy, shh, no. And I don't want the bots in here advertising theirs either. But good evening to you, Tommy. Italma Miller, you're our genius. Italma Miller. I feel bad for Catterall, and that's from LR. Stevie Wonder could see that he should have one time been undisputed. Oh, that was terrible. Yeah, he should have. And it's like chasing a dream now, isn't it? Or chasing what could have been. Harlem has that 1960s speed, and that's from our Arawak. If he loses tonight, it's a long roll back. Yeah, and that's what scares. That's why sometimes, when I speak to the fighters, when you're up close with them and you're looking at them at the press conference, and yeah, it's all fun and games to us. We get to hear what they say, that either they're pre-rehearsed lines or sometimes they'll just be honest and pour their hearts out. But you think, when a fighter's in a must-win fight, must win. So basically your career is on the line. Maybe those private chats that none of us are privy to, where it's like, mate, you know what it is. If you don't win this fight, like you said, it's a long road back, or there is no road back. We can't afford to keep paying you if you're going to lose, or the conversation that we had earlier. There's a lot of pressure on the fighters, and that's why I respect all of them. Even if I don't like them, I definitely respect them, because they do what we don't. Tough. No, sorry, Mech Rico. No, sorry. Oh, Hood Johns, what's up from Perth, Western Australia? I am loving this. Are you a native, or are you a native of Western Australia? I'm so interested to learn about the original Australian culture. That is something that really grabs my attention. I want to, learn about it because they went through some atrocities over there as well. So yeah, shout out to you. Right, Dana's saying, funny thing about DAZN is they have commentators who don't even enjoy boxing or have a basic knowledge of the sport, and will give them a boxing show. Their best bet is to give your own boxing show. Yeah, listen, I get what you're saying, Dana. That's for them. They're over there. I'm over here with an absolutely fantastic group of people. No complaints from me. I do this because I love it. I do this because I love the social side, interacting with people that love the sport just as much as I do. And believe it or not, boxing for the past 4 years has been incredible therapy for my mental health. So each and every one of you that supports the journey, you guys have been brilliant, because boxing in no certain terms has literally saved me. So leave them over there. Let them do what they're doing. Whoopity woo. Happy for them. Happy for all of them. But let's just concentrate on what we're doing here, which is enjoying the fights. It reminds me of the great Gene Tunney with his footwork and jab. Yeah, Gene Tunney. Yeah, I've watched a few of his fights actually on DVD. Just part of Harlem's path, and this is from Harv. An obstacle he will overcome. Harlem by TKO. We haven't got to wait long now, because guess what, guys? It's ring walk time. We are here. We are at the main event, wherever you are in the world. Thank you very much for honoring me with your presence, honoring me with the conversation that we've had in the chat. It's main event time. There is no footage. You are going to hear myself commentating over the fight. That is a beautiful outfit Harlem's wearing. That jacket, I'd actually wear that like casually. That is a beautiful jacket. Harlem Eubank stomps. He's got some sort of urgency as he walks to the ring. He walks solo. Obviously, his team is going to get out there ready. He's with security. There's a bit of urgency in his step. Is that nerves? Am I thinking too much into it? Is there a lot on the line here for him? How much does this fight mean to him? How much does it mean to him to get this win? Only he knows what's going on in his mind. And I'm going to ask him what was going on in his mind the next time I see him. But yeah, he's slowed down the pace. He's with his trainer. He's with security. He's with his team. I love it. Okay, we see the calmness in him now as he slows down. The pace slows down as he gets ready for his ring walk. The questions will be answered. So if you've joined us, this is the moment we've all been waiting for. The answers we'll find out at the end of this fight. Is it going to go the distance? Are we going to get a stoppage? Is it going to be points? Is somebody going to be knocked out cold? We don't know. We can all have our guesses, but none of us know how it's going to turn out, really. I know I'm going to get a few, I told you souls in the chat later on, because the predictions were coming in from early, and that's fine. But at the moment, none of us know how this is going to turn out. Okay, comes out to 50 cent, many men. Ironic considering what's happening over the States. So shout out to the US guys. I've been following the P. Diddy trial from the beginning. I won't even get into that because that's a rabbit hole. That's a whole live by itself. But yeah, very interesting. See how long he gets, if he gets a custodial sentence. I know he remains, what do they call it, arraigned at the moment. So he's still in prison at the moment, but we'll see how long. They have refused him bail. Is that because they're going to let him out when it comes to sentencing? We'll soon find out. I digress. 50 cents, whatever. Jack Dempsey versus Usyk. I like that. Having that Parker fight cancelled has ruined that momentum he had. I think Triple D will be rusty and losing 6. Wow, Harvey comes in with this full steam. Donna says Usyk doesn't need a promotional company since he'll finish his fighting career on DAZN fighting on His Excellency's boxing card. So why pay a promotional company? Because Krasik has been with him from the beginning. Call me old-fashioned, Dana, but I just love a bit of loyalty. But I think maybe I'm just old-fashioned. He's been with him from the beginning, and he's backed him from the beginning. I don't know what went on. I don't know why they parted ways. But it would have been nice if they saw this fight out together. But there was obviously it couldn't wait. which senses that it's, to me, if it couldn't wait, it's not particularly good terms. Look at this. Jack Catterall comes out there with his team, almost like a Grim Reaper. He's got the black done in the blue. It looks like there's some claw marks on the outfit, on the jacket in blue. Almost like his outfit's quite sinister. It's dark, but it's nice. I like it. Thank you. Yeah, we've got to give Usyk his flowers. We definitely have to give Usyk his flowers. 100%. It doesn't matter how patriotic I am towards British fighters. There's no way I'm going to take credit away from another fighter just because I want a Brit to win. I'm not doing that. Ben knocks out Eubank in 4-6. Next time Eubank ain't bothered now and will retire after that last. Oh, you reckon? Interesting. Donna saying hit the like button, guys. I didn't say it. Donna says it, and if Donna says it, you got to do it. So yeah, I'd appreciate it anyway, because we've got like 1,200 of you in here now, and the numbers are going up. You know, our maximum numbers in here, was it? I can't remember which fight it was, but we got up to 22,000. That was insane. 22,000 people watching the live at once. Woo! That was the best one. Capital. Absolutely. Usyk will become a subject for future boxers from his training resume, mental strength, I beg your pardon, and superior boxing IQ. All will be studied by future boxers. He's a generational great. # legend. I couldn't agree with you more. Okay. The Alfredas and pet comments got through. Yeah. Oh, no, Jamie, you better not. Don't do that. Yeah, what is wrong with you guys? Are you not fed at home or something? Just putting it out, the respect for the great Vasily Lomachenko. Absolutely. He bowed out the sport recently. Another treasure to the sport. I think the losses got to him, though. You've got to ask yourself, when you're an elite champion and you're winning, you're undisputed, you've done your unification, you've done your undisputed, how do you mentally cope with losing? I think that's extremely difficult, especially if you don't like to lose, especially if you're used to being a winner. I think after he lost, he wasn't the same again. Ozzy Osbourne, he was good. I don't think he'll get himself an injury, Jerry, but the fleas on his carpet might. Jesus, what is wrong with you? Harlem has looked world class for a while. To me, his only flaw is he sometimes loses concentration. It's hard. A lot of fighters say that they suffer with that concentration, that it's so easy to switch off. We've heard them say it before. We've seen it so many times. You've got to stay switched on 100% of the time, because if you don't, you can just get caught and it lights out. Skyline, it doesn't like he's there, does it? Which I'm surprised at, to be fair. Right, Redemption. Thank God, a normal comment. If Harlem can set the pace, he can win this. He needs to stop Jack's boring style. What are your thoughts on your... You know what? How long have we got left? They're still in the ring. I love that fight, and I absolutely have to give 100% credit to Anthony Yard for taking on the Mexican Monster. So I absolutely love the fight. I would say that Benavidez is the favorite, but you just don't know what could happen. But credit to Anthony Yard for taking that fight. So yeah, I'll definitely be watching that one. Jerry's saying that Yard's in big trouble. Fight Bleachers, big up October Red, big up yourself. Rems, good to see you. Good evening. No, I haven't interviewed Lee McGregor. I'd like to, though. I do like a character. And yeah, good on Dillian White. Ah, you're a native. I love to see that. Shout out to Hood Johns. Australians are basically Brits. The king at the time booted out the UK. Yeah, there's so much over there. I could go down that rabbit hole because I do like to do a bit of studies on history, but I'm not going to do that because we're going to stick to boxing. And those of you that know me know that I will drift off and talk about completely different things. I need that jacket off Harlem. That jacket is what I would call cold. Look at the crowd. Sam Jones hyping up the crowd there. Riley across the band of Jack Catterall. Jamie Moore standing there, hands folded. Eddie Hearn, palms crossed across his waist. This is a do or die fight for Jack, I'd say. Sam Jones hyping his fighter up. Nigel Travis on the apron on the outside of the ring. You can hear the roars, and I know how many people turn up for Jack Catterall at fights because I've had the pleasure of watching him fight live a few times. He does bring a crowd with him. So all the best. Oh, Dave Allen also on the ring apron. I'll get back to the chat in a minute, guys. This is important. We've been waiting for this for a minute. So if you've just joined us, welcome. We are now at the main event. They're doing the administrative tasks at the moment. Both fighters in the center of the ring. Harlem looking at him like he wants to get his food. That was an intense stare off, guys. Oh, why am I nervous? Ooh, nothing to do with me. The crowd, you can hear the excitement from the crowd. Oh my God, seconds out, guys, seconds out. Oh, why am I so nervous? Wow. Round one. Catterall straight into the middle of the ring. Harlem straight out there, throwing out those feints with that jab up and down. Sort of like Usyk-esque with the way that he's throwing it out, trying to dazzle his opponent. Catterall, as we know, his southpaw is going to try and get behind that, looking to throw the jab to the stomach. But Harlem is just fencing out there with that orthodox up and down movement, which, like I said, is similar to Usyk. It distracts your opponent because you don't know whether they're going to throw or not. Eubank definitely on the back foot to start, circling around to the right as Catterall walks forward with that southpaw style. I'm trying to think how many opponents has Harlem fought that are southpaw. Once again, the homework's not done. Harlem goes into the body with the backhand and looks to throw in the overhand right as he pushes Catterall back for a moment there. But Catterall comes back looking quite relaxed, throws out the 1-2 from the southpaw stance to Harlem, just skimming the face of Eubank to start off with. Nice head movement, lateral movement coming in from Eubank, moving left to right, not keeping still, not being that still target as he walks towards him and throws the 1-2. Catterall manages to move out the way to stop that 2 landing perfectly. Nice. He's looking all right with the southpaw as Catterall feints to the head but goes in for the body jab. 1-2 goes in. Both guys in the clinch. Harlem on the ropes, pushing him back. Guys separate, reset. We are halfway through round number 1 already. 1 minute, 28 seconds left of round number 1. Fast pace from the start. Getting the feelers out. The 1-2 goes in from Harlem, but he fails to get to the body. The distance is still not set with Harlem. I need to start calling him Eubank, really. Some nice footwork movement there from Catterall, able to spin into the shots, causing Eubank to have to reset because he's not necessarily where you're going to find him. And I like that when you have to try and find the boxer because of that. They use the angles quite well. You know, it's a bit more technical than just using straight lines, those slight feet movements. And you expect to throw a punch and they're there. And they've just made that slight adjustment, that slight step to the side, which is causing you to have to pivot all the way around. High IQ in the boxing there. Not many fighters do that. Harlem looks quite eager, quite keen, really trying to land that backhand. I'm just looking at the size of Harlem's legs. He looks quite, his legs look quite strong, actually. 20 seconds left in this fast-paced first round. Really good work from both of them, establishing, starting fast. Nothing substantial has been landed, but they're both putting in an effort. And it looks like Catterall walked in onto a backhand there, grabbed in Eubank for the clinch. Yeah, nice feel around, but fast paced because that first round went extremely quick. Iron Stealth, respect. October Red, stamina for sale. Tunde and Spence, best watch alongs in boxing. Thank you very much. I'll pass that on to Spencer. Kayla, it's good on Dillian White. How can you call themselves the best if they won't fight certain? Yeah, spot on. Do you know what I mean? TC, no. Romans, I think Serrano might do it this time. She might just do it this time. All right, we're going into round number 2 already. Catterall up off his stool very quickly. More just giving him those words of wisdom as he steps in to go into round number 2. Why did I say final? We're going to get a knockout here, guys. Call me Septic Peg if we do. Right. Eubank seems to be dealing with the southpaw stance quite well. When I say that, he's not getting caught with any silly shots. He's just having potential problems in landing his shots. But that could be because of the speed, the slight foot there that we're getting from Catterall. So yeah, good work. As we Eubank's moving around to the right. Both of them have got their lead hand low. As we've got that fencing thing, that's what I think we need to do. When Catterall comes in to throw that 1-2, he's literally got to roll under and potentially get him with a hook. There we go. The jab comes out from Catterall, but Eubanks just manages to slip that. He throws in his own double jab. Catterall manages to move back from that, but lands a 1-2. The jab coming out from Catterall. I hate this app. Seriously, DAZN, the main event, really? Right, let's have a look. You can see. I do like what Harlem's doing with those feints with that hand. Like I said, it's very Usyk-esque. We were speaking about studying fighters, but it's just like he can't get into range at the moment to really land a comfortable shot, a meaningful shot on Catterall. Catterall can see him coming. He's very quick on his feet. Defensive-wise, he's good. Oh, and the 2 lands there from Catterall. And we've got to be careful here because we know that Catterall historically is a very good counterpuncher. So Eubank's got to be prepared for that. When he does start to land, that a shot is immediately coming back from Catterall. But nice work from Eubank. I like what he's trying to do. I just want to see him establish it. The 1-2 comes back once again from Catterall. As this app spins again. Seriously? This is so frustrating. Really poor from DAZN, this is. Right, what I need Harlem now to do is to try potentially close the distance, stop overloading on that backhand, potentially start to, I don't know, feint to the head, go to the body and get the 1-2 in, start to try to get closer to Catterall, maybe push him back to the ropes if you can. There we go, better work there from Eubank, but Catterall manages to just spin off and then get himself back into the center of the ring. We have got Southpaw versus Orthodox, and not every Orthodox fighter can deal well with a southpaw. I will say that, Catterall is landing the shots, but nothing too meaningful that's causing Eubank any problems. Eubank's able to slip some of the work here that's coming out from Catterall, which shows that he's anticipating the high work rate that's going to come from Catterall, the combinations that's going to come from Catterall. Yeah. High pace. Like I said, high pace. TC, let's not do that on here. Let's not do that. The same Spence that said AJ would put Dubois in a stretcher. Wow, did he? Didn't know that. No show from Senior. That's from LR. Pete Geraghty, let's get it on. Let's get it on indeed. Well, Iron Stuff is saying to Ramams that I say it would be a draw onto the 4th. Where's the family? Good question. I don't know. They're not really panning outside of the ring, to be fair. Fun fact, Usyk and Wolf and Ali all said the same birthday, January the 17th. Reason I know is because it's also my son's birthday. I like that. Significant dates. Okay, the 2-1-2 caught Harlem there. I'm just looking at the playback. Harlem's great in the pocket and on the back foot. Catterall's dirty tactics won't work this time. Harlem by hellacious body shot in the 7th. He's got to get close. He's got to get close, Bon Scott. I guess P. Diddy will be on. Don't think he'll probably get all his stock back, to be fair. I'm gonna have to say goodbye to you because there is no links. Sorry. Jonathan says, let's go. Pete saying Jack means business. He definitely does. Harvey Jones, thank you very much, Harvey. He's saying hit the subscribe button. Let's do this. We're at 1,700 now. I wonder if we'll get up to 2,000 tonight. 1,700 is more than enough because I didn't even think I'd get 200 this evening. So thank you very much for you all joining in. Looks like senior. Whoa! Was that a slip? It's all right. I've just seen Eubank do what do you call them? Rollovers, gambols? Don't know. Can't remember. I thought he went down there. Jay Green's Wilder versus AJ should happen. 1-2 coming in. Okay, what we're getting now is Catterall has now found his distance comfortably. The 2 is landing almost all the time on Eubank's face. Seeing a bit of reddening on Eubank's face as well. Eubank's getting a bit hungry there, but Catterall's able to maneuver. And this is the experience, isn't it? Remember I said about the experience with Catterall, anticipating what's potentially going to come back at him. But like I said, you don't know. It can change in a split second here because we know, even though quite rightly so, Jack has knocked some of his opponents down also. We know what Eubank can do. Wilder versus AJ should happen in late September and make the Fury fight. He ain't going to fight. Jay, Fury's not going to fight AJ. I just can't see it happening. Yard cornered like a cockroach. He had to do the fight. Did he? You reckon? Yeah. Hi, Karma. Good to see you. Yeah, that jacket is cold. Anyway, on to the main event. Skyliner, Nigel Travis. He's good. He is good. You know what? I always speak to Nigel Travis off camera. I ain't got my camera out and spoke to him on camera yet, but I do speak to him off camera when I see him. He's a lovely guy. Once again, this app is a freezing. Toby, good evening. Toby, Ring Girl Bartlett. Everybody, this is Toby. He loves the Ring Girls. He's happy with Matchroom and Queensbury shows because you get the ladies in their lovely hot pants and crop tops walking around the ring and telling us what round it is. Hi, Toby. Legal Eagles, tentative first round. Jack landed the better punches. It's the first round to him. Totally agree. Philip Answer, oi, oi, back to you as well. Capital saying, great first round. I know we're up in the rounds now. Great footwork from Harlem, 2-0 to Jack, and that's from Legal Eagles. I'd say that Jack's comfortably found his distance, and I think the experience sorry, like you can hear me. I think the experience is showing in these early rounds with Jack. So, Andrew, Harlem needs to let his hands go a bit more. He's not getting to him and he's trying to get to him. He's overloading that backhand, so he's not getting close enough to him. He's not able to get his shots off because he's just going to be punching thin air and then he's going to end up tiring himself out because there's nothing worse than throwing punches and missing. You'll just gas yourself out. Didi Treek is saying, oh, fight is boring so far. Why would you say that, Didi? I think it's okay. I think you're looking at the experience versus the hungry fighter. I think that's what's happening here. Star Fox and Skyliner turn up once again. Big up Red, light skin Rastafari. You are crazy. Right, Tony Cooper's saying, predicting Jack about round 8. Okay. Rollover. I think Jack Catterall half is up to me. Performance anxiety on Harlem, maybe. Maybe. I just think he's struggling to really find a distance. And I was thinking about how many southpaw fighters that Harlem had fought. Jack's making it hard for him, quite rightly so, to get the distance. But have a look now. Look what happens. He's feinting, he's moving, he's trying to get inside. He's resetting, he's moving, he's going up and down. He's not throwing any shots. Straight away, Jack goes in there. He's able to land a jab. Harlem is struggling. He looks busy, but he's not busy. I'd like to see the punch stats for this. But Harlem is struggling to close the distance, to find the distance, to get close to him. But Jack is able to land. Once again, body shot goes in to Eubank and it lands. And this is the work of Catterall. We are in round number 4 of 12. I think this might go the distance. I'm saying that. It's always a prediction because we never know. Okay, that's better from Harlem if he goes in there quickly and manages to land the 2 on the body of Catterall as Catterall comes in and throws his own 1-2, but finishing on the backhand with a hook. The last shot was a hook coming in from Catterall. 1-2-3, getting a bit wrangle-tangle with both of them. Once again, look at Eubank. He's throwing out that jab, but when he's getting in, not establishing it, went to throw that sweeping hook there. Catterall just moves out the way. This is the experience that you have. Obviously, Catterall's going to spend most of his career fighting orthodox fighters. He's had a lot of fights. I think if Eubank can get inside, there's potential problems here. But I'm seeing that Eubank's struggling to get inside. He's busy, he's moving. But it's like, okay, you've got to get inside. Let your hands go. Take a risk. Feint the jab. Let him move. Step to the side. Go at him with the backhand. Just a little bit of stuff like that, as you can see. When he jumps in and throws the overhand right, and this is Eubank I'm talking about, Catterall's seeing it and he's able to move out of the way. So have a look. We've got just over 30 seconds left in round number 4 of 12. What time is it? God, it's after 11. See Harlem doing a bit of fancy footwork here, but there we go. Lovely. Got in with a sweeping hook there after his fancy footwork. That's the work from Harlem. I think that's nice shot that landed. 1-2 once again coming in from Harlem. Both guys in the clinch. Yeah, let's have a look. Right, October, what's happening with Boxer? I have not heard anything from Boxer. I've reached out to them. I did get a message from Ben. Said, thanks for asking. Not saying anything yet. When we do, you'll know about it. So I didn't get ignored this time because I did get ignored the first time. And to be fair, Joseph, out of respect, even if Ben did tell me something and he tells me in confidence, I definitely wouldn't be blurting it out on the live. But I don't know anything is the short answer to that. Rob Jeffries coming in with the antique fights. Tommy Morrison versus Mike Tyson would have been a great fight. I can leave you guys in the chat to discuss that. Let's have a look. Right. Harlem hasn't beaten anyone of note and looked terrible doing so. So I'll take it, Rem. You got Catterall to win. Danny Boy, good coverage, Red. It's nice to see a lady covering it. Thank you very much. Joseph comes back with Catterall's leading for me. I do agree with that. Capital saying Eubank has great movement, but he needs to get busy now and let those hands go. He's struggling to find range. That's what I can see here. And when he does find it, he's getting smothered. Or when he does find it, Catterall's quick to move out the way. So yeah. 2-2 Capital Commodities. Ricky's saying, Red, are you going live? You know what it is? I struggle to stay awake for the fights in the US. I don't want to promise anything. I don't want to promise anything. So yeah. Even though I'd like to. But I don't know is the short answer. Rem saying 4-0 Catterall to me, or 3-1. Yeah, I'm more or less with you on that. So it looks like it's potentially going to be a points win. We are in round number 5 of 12. And Catterall's just dominating here with experience. It's his experience that's outshining. Nice, lovely inside work. Hook came in there from Eubank. Catterall just keeps him there in the clinch. Star Fox is saying Ben Shalom is on a long vacation in Ocho Rios. Who knows where he is? Who knows where he is? Who you got? Usually called Dubois. I'd like Dubois to win. Being a Brit. But can anybody beat Usyk, really? Can they? Because nobody has so far, have they? So yes, yeah. But I'd like Dubois to win. I don't know. It's heavyweight boxing. Anything's possible. If Dubois does the body shot and there's no, how can I say, conflict over it, then potentially Dubois can do the work. Right, let's have a look. Round 5, number 12. We've just got under 30 seconds. And I'm yet to see Eubank really land anything meaningful, or when he does get inside, to follow up with the shots. He's pushed Catterall back, but I think Catterall's gone back more of a defense rather than he's worried about what's coming at him, if that makes sense. I'll definitely say that Catterall is dominating the fight. And I just think he's nullifying any potential work that Eubank's trying to bring to him. It's going to be a testament for fitness here, because Eubank's moving around a hell of a lot and he's throwing a lot of shots and they're missing. I'd love to hear what his corner's saying, how they're going to tell him to get to Jack, but the camera's on the corner of Catterall at the moment. I wouldn't mind hearing what they're saying to Eubank. I think he's telling him to utilize the uppercut. I think he's saying take advantage of options that are there when Eubank's there for the punches. He's mentioned using an uppercut. I'd say that Catterall looks pretty relaxed, pretty calm. I'd like to see what's going on in Eubank's corner. I didn't hear what they said, but shout out to the commentary as well, because there's been a few times when I've been on the live and I says I don't want to hear the commentary. I want to hear what the fighters are saying. So yeah, there's a slight delay on my stuff again. And once again, the DAZN app is playing up. Right, let's have a look. The Tyson up Ben being bad news for the Tyson uppy would have been bad news for Morris. Wow, that hurt Catterall. See, I'm missing this because my app keeps freezing. Eubank is scared to engage. He's coming from Rem. It's like Catterall has an invisible wall in front of him. And that was Harlem's round. 3-2 to Catterall. We are in round number 6 of 12. We're halfway through that round. A nice shot went in there from Catterall. All right, the backhand goes into the body of Eubank. The jab comes out from Catterall once again. All right, let's have a look. The jab. Both of them eyeing each other up. Let me know in the chat. I think Eubank really needs to right, where are we? Round number, it's a 12-round fight. But I really do believe that Eubank's got to start taking some risks. Really use that double jab. Careful. You hit him from when he was turned away. I don't know why. Oh, is that a cut? Uh-oh. Oh, yeah, he's got. Oh, we had a bit of a Javonte Davis there where he didn't take a knee though. He just went back to his corner. This app continuously freezes. I think the ref's having a word with them. I think Eubank there hit him as Catterall had his back turned. This app is doing my head in. But they've both been cut. Right, we've got 30 seconds left, round number 6 of 12. Yeah, I'd like to see Eubank take some more risks. Just take the risks, double jab, get inside. Eubank ends up on the floor. That wasn't from a punch. I don't know if that was a push. Whoa, that blood is pouring from the head of Catterall. I think the doctor might need to take a look at this. I don't know. Dear God, that's a bad cut. Let's see what the doctor needs to have a look at that. Where's the doctor? Oh dear. And this is how fights can get stopped. Yeah, we'll see what he can do about that. Yeah, let's have a look. Harlem's work is not clean, but he's doing damage, and Catterall's cut is worse. Points, they'll give it to Catterall. Yeah, the cut is horrific. Hold on, let's have a look. Head clashes. I mean, this happens with Southpaw Orthodox fighters. We know that this can happen. Navigating away something like that is difficult sometimes. I think it was a clash of heads, but it was literally that quick. You know, when you hit something quick and it just goes pop. What's he saying? I don't think the doctor likes the look of it. What's he said? Yeah. What's he saying? This is dangerous. Okay, we'll see what happens. But I'm telling you now, Eubank needs to go for that like a shark in the water. You've got to play the game here. I thought it was a head clash. Capital, you're saying that it was a punch. That's a good cutsman, but I reckon that's the top of his eyelid. I don't know. Are they going to let this fight carry on? Yeah, they've called it off. That's going to cause chaos. So, right, I'm absolutely baffled. Sorry about the silence. There's absolute chaos going on. They've stopped the fight due to the cuts. We've got Harlem Eubank celebrating. I'm a bit confused. I don't know what's going on. I don't know who's won. I don't know. So I'm gonna sit tight, wait here. I think. All right, it's going to be scorecards then. If it's scorecards, I've got Catterall winning, but I don't know. Guys, let us know in the chat. This is so weird. Look at Dave Allen. He's like a dad, isn't he? Giving him the reason. They've both got the same cut in the is a head clash commodities. Right. Personally, oh yeah, let's have a look. Look, watch this. Bang. It's heads. That wasn't a punch. That was head clash. So, right, Catterall's doctor said it was okay, and Eubank's corner doctor said no. Speed just put the doctor saved us. Yeah, we need some explanation now. We're sitting here and we're bewildered. We need some sort of announcement. But like I said, when you get an orthodox and southpaw, the head clash, it's inevitable. Scorecards. I mean, I don't think it'd be that hard to score the fight. I'm just trying to think why Eubank was celebrating. Have I missed something? Yeah, it is a bad cut. Right, let me You know what's making me laugh? We've got Adam Smith mentioning all the GBM fights, and these guys on like Matchroom are just like ignoring him and talking about other fights. Like, yeah. Anyway, back to Matchroom. Let's see how this ends up. Did they pull Catterall out, or was it the doctor in Eubank's corner that said no more? This is what I'm missing. Rem said horrible fight and horrible ending. Yeah, definitely a head clash. Speed says the doctor saved us. Peter Bissett, what sort of punch was Eubank trying to throw? Horrific and completely amateurish. New of Racks Art Productions, if caused by punch, then it would class as a TKO. It's a head clash. I thought it was a head clash. Seems we have got to wait and see what happens. Should be on the cards, which is what they said. They're going to the scorecards. Marquis, good evening. I haven't seen you for a minute. We don't need a rematch. These styles are horrid together. Capital says, yep, they pull Catterall out. Did they pull Catterall out? Dana says, watch, it's going to be a draw. Mark Joel saying it was a punch. I thought it was heads. Skyliner has said, I'd never want to see that fight again. You know what? It would have been more impactful if you put it in capital letters. It wasn't the best of fights. It was a frustrating fight. Somebody needs to like give us a decision or say what's going on. Right, it seems like the commentary having a debate how this is going to work. Sonny Edwards has just said it's going to go to the scorecards. Identity withheld. The doctor in Eubank's corner. His cut wasn't even that bad, but he couldn't watch any more of it. Eubank celebrating. This is insane. The ref's looking at him like, calm down, mate. It was a cat and mouse fight. Do you think His Excellency is at like watching from his palace saying, Right, the ref is saying to Catterall, I know my boxing. Well, I should hope so if you're reffing it. That ref's all right, actually. I always say hello to the refs when they go to the fights. Here we go. Come on. Silence. Silence. Scorecards. Head clash. Head clash. Technical decision. $69.65. UD. It's going to be Catterall. Jack Catterall got it. Yeah. Made sense. Harlem looked confused then, like, is that me? Is Catterall already the champion? Yeah, Catterall got it on. Fair enough. Fair dues. Can't argue with that. He's held up Eubank's hand. Yeah, messy. But Catterall was definitely doing more of the work. Eubank can come again. Absolutely no problem. I think the pressure was on Jack Catterall, and he's managed to, he saved the day. So congratulations to him. Commiserations to Harlem. And that is it, ladies and gentlemen. Was that anticlimactical? Did we have a fantastic lead up? Was it the foreplay leading up to the main event? Was it good? And then we had an anticlimactical finish. Things like that happen. That is life. But what I want to say is a personal thank you to each and every one of you for tuning in tonight. 2,410 people have tuned in. I really appreciate your time. We've been going for just over 2 hours. Next thing for me is going to be Musique de Bois. So this week's going to be a bit Q. I don't know if I'll have any online convos. We'll see how it goes. I might do a random live in the week in one of the evenings. But hopefully I'll get accredited to Musique de Bois and we'll get some content from there for the press conference and the fight night. So listen, you beauts, have a fantastic weekend. I can't thank you enough. Yes, I'm repeating my thanks, but I always start and end with gratitude. Have a fantastic weekend. Look after each other. Stay safe. And of course, stay ready. You know the motto. That's what we say. Au revoir.
People say I'm toxic, and honestly, I don't care.